yeah, I should win just because you had the Timberwolves in the 8th seed.
Vasilevsky's been playing really well, and the Lightning have a great offense.
Yeah, it was a tremendous shot, and I've come to expect it from LeBron. I would say I wish the best for the Red Sox, but as a Yankees fan, that's really hard for me to do.
The biggest addition to me is Jalen Brunson.
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and that's all I have to say. He's still a top 5 quarterback in this league, and there's nothing really anyone can do about it.
Why'd you have to name him? Like, seriously? Like, thanks, man.
Who would have thought 5 years ago that the Clippers and Nets would be facing in the finals?
How is Joe Burrow going to get the ball to them if his butt is already on the ground?
Crazy. And for the fans at home,
Hello, I'm Cy Mendenhall, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL opinions of the week. Nothing too crazy going on right now. We are still waiting to see kind of where the quarterback carousel goes, specifically with Rodgers and Wilson. And I think those are some choices for the Steelers, and we've talked about this before. But the man that I'm curious to see, who do you think the Steelers choose to be their QB, Austin?
Based on how everything's going, I think it will be Aaron Rodgers.
Really? Just kind of with like I know Cameron Hayward was on a podcast for talking about it.
Yeah, he said you either want to be a QB for the Steelers or not. And while I do understand that, he's not the one that really makes the decision. And I feel like the front office is compelled. They see all the memes about 9-8 or 10-7 every year, and I think they think that they could fix Rodgers. Rodgers would not cost all that much, just like Russ did last year because he's still getting paid. So I think that Rodgers will go to Pittsburgh. It also gives Rodgers the best chance for a playoff berth with a new team.
Okay, so you and I are in disagreement over this because I understand what you're saying about Rodgers, but to me, it doesn't really fit what the Steelers have shown in the past, and I don't see them wanting to change that. I think they're happy, relatively happy, and they kind of believe in, well, let's just bring Russell Wilson back because it seems like the perfect pairing for Russell Wilson and the Steelers because who else is going to give Russell Wilson the starting job? I know the Giants, but they're not really going to be competitive, and I think Russell Wilson wants to be competitive. So I believe that familiarity.
Do you think the Steelers want Russ? I don't know if the way that season ended is something that they think fondly of. I think that they think a change of scenery regarding the QB position would be good, and they also have new guys that are more deep threats. Russ has never been. I mean, he's had stretches where he was a deep threat guy, but he's never one to throw over the middle of the field. And I think Rodgers could open things up if he's given the right opportunities, but also it's whether or not they trust him. I don't think Rodgers is meeting with the team just to meet with him, though. I think there's something more behind this, and I think Rodgers wants to choose the best opportunity for him to win, and that would be the Steelers.
Yeah, I agree. But to me, I view the Steelers even though it didn't end well, I think they may go, let's try this one more year. And the price tag
they've tried it one more year for a long time now. I mean, they've been consistently around that just above 500 level for a while. And even with Russell Wilson, I mean, the season ended extremely bleak for them. It didn't really look...
Yeah, but...
What were you going to say?
I'm saying their one more year would be with Russell Wilson. So that would be my view of the one more year of Russell Wilson knows us versus Rodgers. Even though I understand what you're saying.
They lost, Kevin, 5 straight games to end the season.
Yes, but they could argue we have DK Metcalf. He has some familiarity with Russell Wilson. I don't see them going for the headache of Aaron Rodgers and what he would do to the Steelers.
I think the Steelers trust the fact that they are a well-oiled machine of an organization, and they wouldn't have let him affect the locker room like that. Yeah, yes. There's a lot of QBs that are defense. I mean, Sean Payton had problems with Russell Wilson, right? There's some people that could see Russell Wilson as a headache, as Sean Payton did when he was with Denver. So I don't think that either of these QBs are fully without the headache that they could become. And I think that the Steelers think that the Jets were the ones that made Rodgers bad, not Rodgers getting worse.
Okay. I just see Mike Tomlin going, I don't want to deal with Aaron Rodgers. I'd rather deal with Russell Wilson because he has dealt with Russell Wilson in the past.
Yes, but they lost 5 straight games with Russell Wilson.
Didn't they lose? Who's the quarterback? I think it was Kenny Pickett, right? When they were undefeated at one point. Then
No.
they had that terrible stretch.
No, that was not Kenny Pickett. That was Ben Roethlisberger.
It was still Roethlisberger?
Yes, it was Roethlisberger the season after that.
I know they've lost 5 straight, but I can still see them going, we've changed other things. Let's do it again.
What did they change besides adding DK Metcalf?
I think that's enough of a change for them.
I disagree. I think that they know what the fans are saying. A team in their own state just won a Super Bowl. They are a historic franchise, and I think that they think that they could change Rodgers from what he was with the Jets.
They may think that, but I just don't feel like Mike Tomlin would.
I think Tomlin trusts the fact that he's a great head coach. And great head coaches can control the locker room, even with a QB that's a little bit more of a headache.
We'll have to see. I am interested. I'm surprised you chose Rodgers. And do they also go the rookie quarterback route? Because that's something they've done in the past. They went the Kenny Pickett route.
Yeah, but that's not similar to what they're doing here.
Well, yeah, but I don't view them as completely changing everything. I think they're like, we are competitive. They may be hearing other people, but I think they don't really care because they're like, we're competitive.
They wouldn't. They reached out to Rodgers. You don't have a meeting with a guy that you don't really care about.
You can meet with him, but you can also you can meet with people and still decide, no, this isn't it.
Why would you meet with someone that is a quote unquote headache like Rodgers without there being any interest from your side? I feel like that would be disingenuous. I think
I'm saying there's not no interest, but they may go, no, we're going to go back to Russell Wilson. That's how I view it playing out.
I don't think they meet with Rodgers to not go with him. I feel like they have gone, again, ending the year with 5 straight losses kind of should open your eyes as a franchise to change things up more than just adding one wide receiver that already does the job of a wide receiver you already have on the roster, George Pickens. They have the same role. So it's hard to have 2 deep threat guys running the same offense. So there's a lot more changes they're going to have to need.
Yeah, that's all I understand. They do need to make changes. I don't view them feeling that need to make changes. But we'll have to see. Do you think they announce Rodgers soon after they meet with him?
Say it again.
Do you so since they're meeting with him, do you believe they have Rodgers, like in 2 days they signed Rodgers after meeting with him?
I don't know about 2 days, but I think that they are going to sign him.
Okay. I would say it's going to be at least 2 weeks till they sign someone.
I could see it being that, but I think that the guy they end up signing with, or that ends up signing with the Steelers, is Rodgers.
Okay. My pick's Russell Wilson. Let us know y'all's pick. We'll keep you updated on it, and kind of it'd be interesting to see Rodgers and just how that dynamic would play out. Kind of how we talked about when Russell Wilson signed with the Steelers. Make sure you're following us, and we post daily episodes. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.